Hello and welcome to the Moose Hunt Podcast. I'm your host Rob Fickett, and today's a special day. It's going through my gear list, my gear for moose season. Moose season starts in a week. I'm getting everything packed. Got a bunch of my stuff washed, my yearly washing. Basically just going through, checking stuff, seeing what I got to mess with, check out new stuff that I got, make sure essentially that I got everything and I'm ready to roll. So when I pack the truck in a few days, I don't have to worry about anything. It's all ready to rock. So this episode, you guys hit me up about it all the time. You guys got to do a gear episode. You got to do a gear episode. And I thought, what better time than now that I already have it all laid out. It's probably a little late for all you guys that have September hunts, the September Bull Week, but maybe we'll be able to get something fast on Amazon if you see something that like, oh shoot, I didn't think about that. And then all your other later hunts, the October Bull and Cow Weeks. If you see something you like, you definitely have time to get it. So I'm just going to go through. I have everything laid out here on the table. And for those of you that are just listening, this might be one worth to watch. If you want a visual of what I'm talking about, I'm going to kind of try to describe everything and give names, like names of the products, company, and stuff like that. So if you're listening, try to give it a watch. If not, it's all good. I'll try to describe stuff. If you're watching, thanks for watching. This is one that I've been really wanting to do for a while, and you know, as life goes, now's the time to do it because I already got everything out. So let's just dive right into it. We're going to do apparel, packs, bags, calls and stuff, boots. I got some other stuff down here on the floor. It's going to be, pack frames, accessories, and stuff like that. So this is all personal. This is what I myself wear and use because this is what I like to use. It works for me. And what works for me may not work for some of the other guys, but we all generally kind of use the same type of stuff. Maybe not same companies, but same type of stuff. So let's dive into it. Let's start with, what do I wear for shirts? Like a base layer or just my everyday shirt. The last couple years I've been wearing the Kuiu Ultra Merino 145s. I'm a big merino fan, and I think that's because of scent, and maybe it's a placebo thing, scent and sound. It's pretty quiet. It is really thin. That's why I wear it as like my regular shirt and my base layer. So when it's sunny midday, this is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing this in my pack over it. But as you can see, I get the hooded ones. I like the hoods. And again, it might be a placebo thing, but I'm a pretty big, tall dude. And so I almost always have my hood up, and I think it kind of helps hide my human silhouette a little bit. Totally could just be not at all, but I kind of like it. I think it hides my silhouette a little bit, hides my ears, shape of my hat and stuff. I could be completely wrong, but you know what? It works for me and it makes me feel better about myself. So that's what I roll with. So yeah, Ultra Merino 145 from Kuiu. I've had great luck with these. I love them. Haven't torn them. They've been great. I did pick up a couple of the Pro Merino 200s. Again, this one has a zip, but I mean, it has a hoodie, and then it also has a quarter zip. I haven't worn this one hunting yet, so I don't know how it does in midday stuff. But I got it because the merino on the inside, the scent, the odor. But it's a little bit thicker. I did notice with the Ultra Merino 145s that if it was a wet day or a rain day, at least on me, it almost looked like a potato sack. It stretched out. And I noticed that packing my bull out on Thursday last year, it was just a wicked rain. It rained on us the whole time. And by the time I got back to the truck, the shirt was like stretched out to my knees. Not the end of the world, because I could just take it off, throw another one on. But I did notice that, the arms were past my fingertips. And like I said, I'm a big, tall dude. And it stretched out quite a bit. It came back to normal, when washed and dried and stuff like that. But so I was gonna try the Pro Merino 200 a couple days this year, see if I like that a little bit better. So we'll see. I have no experience with that yet, but it's comfortable to wear. Yeah, so that's what I wear for my shirts. And let's dive into pants. I know you guys have heard me say a few times, I love the attack pants from Kuiu. I wear these 24/7, 365. I build houses in these. I go out to dinner in these, not necessarily camo, but the pants itself, everything. I'm wearing them right now, but it's just because they fit my body style the best. They have the you know, they have the brush pants, the Encounter LTs. I know a lot of the guys on the team wear the Encounter LTs. I tried them. They just don't fit my body style. They don't make a tall for them. And it's just, it doesn't fit my hips, doesn't fit my calves. It just didn't work for me. So I stick with the Attacks. It's what I love to wear. It's what I'm comfortable with. And they're just phenomenal. Like I said, I'm 6'6". I float around between 260, 280, depending on what time of the year. Holiday food, hunting season, I'm usually around that 260 portion just from walking a lot and stuff. But yeah, Attack pants, that's what I wear. I just can't say nothing but good things about them. They're phenomenal. This one I used to wear as my outer layer. I wore it for a few years. This is the Peloton 240. I think it's Peloton or Peloton. Yeah, the Peloton, the Kuiu Peloton 240. Yeah, I was wearing this for my outer garment on those chilly mornings and stuff. It was all right. I just noticed it held the scent a lot. You know, get a little bit sweaty, your armpits start to stink a little bit. You're not like stinky, but it held the scent in the armpits, and yeah. So now like it's kind of just like my camp hoodie now, or if my non-hunting hoodie, like if I've already tagged out and I'm just out, you know, cruising around, trying to find bulls and stuff like that, or helping them pack outs, I'll wear this if I'm not in a hunting scenario. And for me, it's only just because of that scent thing, just the armpit scent. I couldn't get rid of it. And so, yeah, it kind of just went to the camp hoodie. Still really comfortable, really soft. I love it. It's just that scent thing for me. It might be different for you guys. So yeah, the Peloton 240, and that's a quarter zip with a hood. Again, I told you I like hoods, so I like the hoodies. On those, what's the jacket? I'll go into the vest. So on those September mornings, they're pretty chilly, but they're not like overly chilly. You know, there's frost on the ground, but you can still get away with, you know, not being in a full-on jacket. So this is the Encounter vest. And I'll just wear this over my, you know, Ultra Merino shirt, just my base layer shirt. And it works pretty good. It helps retain that body heat. It's super quiet. I'm a huge fan of the Encounter stuff. Except for the pants, because they don't fit me right. But the Encounter vest is phenomenal. I really love it. And that brings me to the Encounter jacket. The Encounter jacket, I've basically lived in this thing during cow season. It's just so comfortable. It's so quiet. I hunted in the snow in this. Hunted in the rain in it. It didn't soak through. I didn't get wet. It's not a rain jacket. It will soak through eventually, but just in the conditions that I hunted in it, it's just amazing. This is gonna stay a staple in my hunting gear from here on out. The Encounter jacket, super comfortable. So that's why I wear for a jacket. Even on the super cold mornings, I'll actually just throw the vest, the Encounter vest, over the jacket, and it's perfect. And then I don't have them on the table here, but socks. I'm a darn tough merino sock guy. I wear those 24/7, 365. During hunting season, I'll wear the over the calf ones, and that's just because it gets up above your boots. They don't ride down. Your calves help hold them up there. I hate socks that ride down. I really do not like them, but I'm a darn tough guy. I know Kuiu makes merino socks. You see all those like alpaca sock ads these days. No experience with them, but I'm a big merino sock fan. So I don't have those, but this for those really cold mornings, I will wear a beanie. This is made by Stagger Gear. Yeah, this is made by Stagger. I've had it since they first came out a few years ago, and I tried the Kuiu Ultra Merino hat. I just didn't like it. It just didn't work for me. It wasn't comfortable. It was super thin. So I've worn the Stagger for a few years, and I really like that. I always wear a cap. And on those cold mornings, I'll just put this hat over the cap. This beanie, this Stagger Gear merino. It's not even camo. I don't even know what it's just green, black lines. I'll just put that over. And like I said, I'm a huge merino fan. For me, it's all about odor, scent. Could be a placebo effect. If it works, it makes me feel comfortable, I should say. And then one thing I don't have out here right now because they're drying and I forgot to bring them out is the Kuiu Ultra Merino gloves. I wear those. They work pretty good on those super cold mornings. I just have my hands in my pockets. I'm not actively hunting, I'm guiding, so I'm not like carrying a gun or anything. So I'll have my hands in my pockets if it's super, super cold. But other than that, those Ultra Merino gloves, they, even on super cold mornings, they work pretty dang good. Yeah, so let's go into packs. For those of you that are watching, I have 2 different packs on here, and I'll go into explain to that. So this one that I have right here is kind of a Frankenstein pack. I sew this. So this is a Alaskan Guide Creations Bino pack with their rangefinder pouch. This is what I've been running for 3 or 4 years. 4 years now. Yeah, 4 years. And I kind of will go into this. This is a trophy line plateau lumbar pack, waist pack, whatever you want to call it. I hated having straps over straps. I don't like wearing like a bino harness and then straps over that. It's just uncomfortable. The bino harness rides down a little bit. The shoulder harness rides up on your neck, and then the other pack is over it. It's just, I hate it. Super uncomfortable to me. Other people don't mind it. For me, not how I like it. So I took my Alaskan Guide Creations bino harness pack. I cut the trophy line waist pack shoulder straps off, and I sewed everything to the Alaskan Guide Creation harness. And that gives you this. It's an all-in-one system, and it's super, super comfortable. Like I said, I've worn it for 3-4 years now. I have nothing but good things to say about it, except for the material. It's like a Cordura, so it's loud. It's not really too loud. You know, it's not like it's made animals run away because it's so loud, because obviously I've been successful. But yeah, it's more of a placebo thing. I like that quiet material, and we'll go into that here in a second. Yeah, but in this, you know, the bino harness, you know, I use Vortex binos just because that's what works with my bank account. So I run Vortex binos. I think these are 8x32s. Got a wind checker in here. I use the powder wind checker. Always have a Leatherman. This is a Gerber. I think this is the one that I had in the Army. They used to issue to you when you deployed. So I have like 4 or 5 sets of these. Just always come in handy. You can use them for anything. I basically keep it on me because if, you know, we're sitting at a cut somewhere trying to get some shooting lanes, I'll take the little saw out and, you know, cut little things so the shooter can see, and stuff like that. Leatherman's come in handy for everything. Absolutely. Especially, we'll dive into this when I go over the pack out packs. It's great for changing your blades and your knife, and I'll go over that because I use the Outdoor Edge, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Anyway, so Gerber, like I said, I got a rangefinder pouch, so I run the Vortex rangefinder. That in my pack itself, I don't use regular water bottles. I use the Life Straw bags, and that's just because it's quiet opening. It doesn't go crinkle, 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 crinkle when you're trying to open a water bottle. I'm not an Nalgene bottle type of guy. I still think when stuff hits it when you're walking by, it's loud. So I run the Life Straw bags. I take the filter out and just keep the filter in my bag, and I'll just, you know, fill this with a bottle of water. And I keep a spare bottle of water in my bag for if I drink all of this, and then if I run out of water that way, I have my filter if I need to, you know, fill this up in a puddle or, you know, a stream or a brook or whatever. So, yeah, then in my pack, it's just kind of, you know, first aid stuff. You know, all of us run first aid. Let's see, what else do I got in here? Oh, right, yeah, so right now, actually, I got a battery charger. This is a solar battery charger, just an Amazon one, pretty cheap. I think it was like 25 bucks, something like that. But it's got the wireless charging for your phone, if your phone's capable of wireless charging. And then it's solar power, so it'll recharge the battery pack with solar. You can also plug stuff into it if you want. This actually, I've had this plugged into my camera and run the cooling fan on the camera off of this. So that's pretty cool, you know. And then just, I keep everything in plastic bags. Keep it waterproof, I guess, a little bit. Just a headlight, rechargeable headlight. It's like a Peaks Design knockoff. It's pretty dang bright. And it lasts a long time. And then I have just a couple charging cords, that type of stuff. And I always keep Strike Anywhere matches and a lighter. You know, we're hunting pretty close to roads and stuff, pretty close to camp. So like this type of stuff doesn't necessarily matter too much, but you never know. You might get hurt and you can't move, stuff like that. So flag and tape, if we need to flag our way out from the bull so other people can find it, marking blood trails, stuff like that. And pair of gloves in case I need it. I don't use gloves when I cut a moose up, but you never know. A tiny little pair of shears. This comes in handy when it comes to take trophy pics. If you need to clip away grass and stuff like that to get it away so it's not in the shot when you're taking pictures of the bull and your clients and stuff. This one, I got some spare batteries in this bag. Get a little retractable tape measure, just a 6-foot tape measure. It's nice and small. You can measure that spread, stuff like that. Sharpie, another lighter, pen flashlight, and a whistle. It's all stuff that just stays in my bag. This stays in my bag all through deer season and everything too. So it's just always there. Never have to worry about it. See if I can get it all back in here now that I've taken it out. All right, good enough. All right, so for scouting, in my pack, I'll carry 2 cameras. And I'll refill a camera if I take it out and put it somewhere, but I'll always have a cell camera on me when I'm scouting, because if there is service, I'll put a cell camera up, and sometimes you don't know if there's service right where you're trying to put a camera until you're in the woods. So I run Stealth Cam. I think this is the Stealth Cam Connect. This is the older one, not like the 2.0, but I got them on like buy one get one free deals a couple years ago, so I bought a bunch of them. And then just a regular camera. Always has fresh batteries in it and an SD card. Again, Stealth Cam. These ones, I don't know what version this is, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say. But I always run Stealth Cams. These ones, I get these on Amazon. I think a 10-pack with batteries and SD cards for $350. That's $35 a camera with batteries and an SD card. I think that's a good deal, and they take great pictures. And it's not too much, doesn't take up too much space in my pack. So yeah, I'll always have 2 cameras when I'm scouting. I'll keep 1 camera in there during hunting season, just in case you really see something that you like and you might want to check it later, or if you're helping people out, you can put a camera up. Like I said, I always keep a spare water bottle in here, just in case. I drank that one. Client runs out of water and he wants some more water, so it's always in there. Let's see what else we got. I run, yeah, just first aid stuff. This is all stuff that I have had from the Army and people that are still in and stuff. So it's just your standard medical stuff, your gauze, Israeli dressings, stuff like that, shears, Band-Aids, basic stuff. Along with first aid, I have a tourniquet tied to the bottom of my bino pack. And for us guides, the tourniquet is more for us because, we're probably the ones that are going to get shot. So I carry that on me, and I always show my clients where it's at, but it's easy access with either arm if it's just right underneath my bino pack. So that's first aid. Let's see, what else do I keep in here? Again, for scouting, spare batteries. If I go check a camera, SD cards, I'll leave the camera there, change the SD card out, bring the other SD card with me and put a fresh one in. Batteries, in case the batteries are died on the camera. They got these biodegradable bags. I'll use these for scent if I feel like it's a good spot and I just want to see what's around. Yeah, so that's it for that pack. So, and right now I have the Peak Design camera holder because I'm going to be, when I'm not guiding this year, if I tag out early, I'm going to be running around with the camera trying to film some people and stuff like that. So I have this on here right now. I used it during scouting. Probably going to pull it off for the hunt just so it's one last thing clanking in the woods. But now we're going to go into, oh, actually, I should show you, this is the Trophy Line Plateau Pack without my Frankenstein sewing of things. I can never just keep things original, so. But this is the original pack. Like I said, great pack. They have a mossy oak color, which has a softer fabric, but I don't like mixing camo colors, so that's why I went with a solid with this. But this is what it looks like with just the regular shoulder straps. They make it because Trophy Line's a saddle, like a saddle hunting company. So they have it so you can, like, strap your platform on here and your sticks and all that stuff. And I don't do that, so I always cut all that extra stuff off just so it's out of the way. And we'll actually go over that when I get into the new thing from Kuyu. The new thing from Kuyu, I'm going to be running this year. I'm still messing around with it. That's why I haven't switched everything over yet. Within the next couple days, I'm going to be doing what I need to this to make it comfortable, like my trophy line plateau pack. So this is the Kuyu Scout 1000. I just got it in the other day, and uh, I wish they had it in the product. I guess they kind of did, but I didn't know what the system was. I wish they had it in the product description that it doesn't come with a hydration, like bottle holder, like bottle pockets on the sides, like most normal packs and backpacks do. So it doesn't have bottle holders on it. So I panicked, went on Amazon, bought some like Molly bottle holders that will be here today. I'm going to throw them on here, wrap them in some encounter material that I have from an old shirt, just to make it quiet. Kind of like, so the Scout 1000, the Kuyu Scout 1000 is with the encounter material. So it's a little bit quieter than this Kedora canvas on the trophy line. But the packs are almost pretty similar, minus the hydration holder. So I went ahead and did my thing on this pack, and I cut off everything that I am never going to use. So, like backpacks, stuff like that, always come with so much stuff on the shoulder straps. I hate it. I'm kind of a minimalist, and I almost have to be because I'm such a big guy, and I'm basically a moose walking through the woods. So I want to keep it as quiet and as natural sounding as possible. So I cut away all the extra bullcrap straps, everything. You'll see, if I wish you guys could see, and I'll do another video on this pack, what I'm going to do to this pack with the Kuyu Bino harness, and just show you what I did to it to get it to where I need it to be. Anyways, but I cut all the extra stuff off. It is a super comfortable pack to wear. Now that I got it all configured to myself, I did some stuff to it to make it a little bit more comfortable and stay better. And I still got a little bit more I'm going to do to it to make it as good as this trophy line pack. But this Kuyu waist pack is a game changer. I can't wear backpacks. I'm so tall that when I'm like, bending over to go through stuff in the woods, I'm catching on everything. It's just another thing. It's almost like I'm wearing a turtle on my back, and I don't need that for my size. And that's why I'm a huge waist pack, lumbar pack fan. I can't do just the waist belt anymore. I have to do the straps, the shoulder straps. And that's just because of, me, my injuries over time, my lower back. I'm always blowing my back out, and I need stuff off of my lower back. So anyways, I'll go into that further once I'm done with it, and maybe I'll be able to go into it before hunting season starts. Maybe not. Very busy time of year, but I will do a separate video on this just to show you guys how to make it even better and a little bit more minimalist. Yeah, so I'm going to be switching to the Kuyu G3 chest harness, binocular harness. And like I said, I'm going to try to get it to where it's permanently fastened to this waist pack here, the Kuyu Scout 1000, like I have my Alaskan Guide creations on my trophy line. Love this bino pack. The first version I wasn't a huge fan with. This one is a lot better. I'm growing on it. I know in the first version that they had of this, my binos inside of this would squeak. There used to be, well, there still is a seam in here, but it's not doing it now. I don't know why. There's a seam right down the side on the inside, and my binos, every time I would walk, they'd jiggle a little bit, and it would squeak, and I hated it. I actually sold the pack after the first few days of the hunt, just because I couldn't do it. But the new G3 one works great. This is the G3 rangefinder pouch, so I'm basically going to try to mimic my pack setup here and have it on the Kuyu pack here, and I think it's going to work out a lot better for me. I love this Kuyu Scout 1000 waist pack, especially now that it's with the quiet material. It's so comfortable, you can't beat it. I'm wearing it around the house all the time, holding my daughter while I'm wearing it and stuff. It's pretty cool. I like it. All right, so let's move on to footwear, boots. So obviously, typically you guys know that we wear the lacrosse Granges. Guys are starting to wear the muck harvesters, which is basically just the muck boot version of the lacrosse Granges. I can't wear the lacrosse Granges anymore. Just the ankle support. I don't know what or why, but all my injuries throughout my life are really starting to come and hit me like a freight train these days. So I'm trying to do everything I can to make myself last longer in what I really love to do. So I'm going back to my military roots, to my army roots, and I'm going back to boots. So this is what I wore when I was in the Army. I've worn them in, not this exact pair, but this company in this version in the mountains of Afghanistan and stuff. And I'm going to keep rocking them. So these are Garmont. These are their T8 Extreme GTXs. So they got a Gore-Tex liner in them. And they work great for me. The ankle stability is great. They're really, really light. They're still just as quiet, if not quieter, than the Lacrosse Granges because you don't have the rubber smacking on stuff. But I'm going to be running these. These will be my primary boots. These are the Nike SFBs, special field boot. They're a Gore-Tex version. That's why they're black leather, because they only did the Gore-Tex version in this, I believe. I've had these for a few years. I wore the Nike SFBs regular versions when I was in the military, so it just kind of transitioned right out. But it's got the Gore-Tex liner, and I'm going to be running gaiters. I did all my scouting this year in these boots with gaiters. Never had a wet foot. And I was, with Kenny standing in beaver bogs, up to the very tippy top of these gaiters, and nothing ever leaked through. So I'm going to be running those. I might even run the gaiters under my pants, so they'll just be over my socks and over my boots, and my pants are a little bit quieter than the gaiter material. So I'm going to give that a try scouting this weekend. But I'm a regular boot and gaiter guy now, I think. And it's just that the Lacrosse Granges, they don't have any traction. And I'm tired of slipping and falling and not getting up. So, yeah, so that's footwear. I know a lot of guys wear Crispies, Kenetrex, Schnees. But obviously this is just what I have experience with, and that's why I'm running them, because I know they've worked for me in years past, and my body hurt less when I was using that stuff back then. Maybe it's because I was younger, but I'm going with it that it was just better for me, so I'm switching back to that. And then I always have like a big brush that I use, especially on these like suede leather ones at the end of the day, just to get all that big material off the boot so it doesn't dry on there. It's really bad for the leather to let like mud dry and harden on there and stuff. So I'll brush them all off, especially if you bring them inside. I'll brush them all off before I put them on the boot dryer, which I forgot to have the boot dryer in this video. I apologize about that. But I also use boot dryer. Get back to the cabin, back to the lodge, whatever, take boots off. I usually take my boots off in my truck at the end of hunting, put my Crocs on, always have Crocs, let the feet dry out, let the boots start to dry out a little bit. As soon as you get back to the lodge or base camp, throw boots right on the boot dryer so they're ready to go for the next morning. If they're super soaked, that's why I have two pairs, can run the other pair the next morning. So, just my 2 cents. I love having a little brush to brush my boots off. Helps them last a little bit longer and helps them dry actually faster for the next morning. So next up on the table here, I got my call. We run the Fox Pro Dylan moose calls. These are not made anymore. The podcast will be selling some. I'm actually getting them engraved right now. So when this video comes out or this podcast comes out, they will have already been done. A little late for the September guys, but it's going to be for a great cause. But anyway, so I run the Fox Pro Dylan moose call. And it makes such a great grunt. It's great. And obviously we run scapulous. A lot of people use like canoe paddles or a plastic jug with the bottom cut off. But we run scaps, and it's because they're easily available for us. This one I've been using for 3 years. It's been used on several successful hunts, so it's kind of important to me now. Obviously I got it engraved with the podcast stuff, but definitely run your scap. Some people will use smaller antlers to rake the trees and stuff like that, or even to hold it up. If you're working a bull, sometimes you can hold your scap up, make them think it's another antler or another bull. It might help be the closer for that. So yes, that's call, scaps. Jeez, I run a lot of stuff while I'm on my hunt, huh? All right, so then let's dive into pack out stuff. I'm gonna get some stuff off the table here. I can't wait to get this Scout 1000, this Kuiu Scout 1000 bag good to go. I think it's going to be a game changer, and hopefully what I do to it is going to be, a good thing for other people too. I think it will be. I really do. All right, so let's pull out. All right, this right here, my main pack out bag. This is the Alps Commander Elite. Used this for, geez, since I started with OMMs, so 5 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. Anyways, I have it fully set up for myself. It does come with a bar that goes up and around for the top. It's just because I'm so tall, that bar would basically be right in the back of my head, and it was starting to tick me off, so I just ripped it out. But one thing that, if you're watching, or I guess I'll just explain it, and this has to do with my military days, I think. I'm a huge strap management guy, so all my straps are taped with black Gorilla Tape. I hate the stupid things that come on the straps originally, like those little elastic retainers. Just don't think they'll work. They're garbage, they're not tight. So I basically fit my pack to me with the thickest thing that I'm going to be wearing, which for me would be, you know, the Encounter jacket, and maybe the Encounter jacket with the vest over it. I fit everything to me that way, and then I'll tape the strap, the excess strap up to that point. So then if I'm just wearing, you know, my shirt, my Ultra Merino shirt, because it's in the middle of the day, then I'll just tighten my straps a little bit to get it tight to my body if it's loose from, you know, being fitted to the thickest thing that I wear. I just hate excess straps. I think it looks like garbage. And it's just because that was you know, ingrained in my head from our Sergeant Major and First Sergeant stuff. Anyways, so yeah, so I have all my straps taped up on everything, all my packs. So this pack is fitted for me. Other people do use it, and that's okay. They just have to kind of, like, you know, adjust straps as they go for us. So this is the Alps Commander Elite. I run this because it is perfect for quarters and the head and hide, the head and cape. And I'll go into why in a second with my other pack. So this is my main pack. This is what I'm carrying quarters out with. This is what I'm carrying the head and hide out with. Does not work good for meat bags, just because they bust out the sides. So actually, I wonder if I can show you or even explain it a little bit. So this pack's great because, as you can see, for the quarters, it's got this meat shelf on the bottom, like a solid bar style meat shelf. It's perfect. I'll go over this dry bag in a second, what's in here. But as you can see, it's all, lost a boot. As you can see, it's all open right here. So if you have that 80-pound meat bag on here, it's just gonna flop in and out of the sides as you're walking. Trust me, because it happens and I hate it. But these packs come with extra buckles and stuff. So if you have a bigger bull, it just helps you get around the quarters. Some of those big bulls that you can barely fit a quarter on one of these packs. So that's what I do. I think I have a knife sharpener in here. I don't use a knife that really needs a sharpener because I use the Outdoor Edge replaceable blades. But if somebody needs a knife sharpener, I have it in my pack. I'll use that on my Leatherman knife all the time. It's just a perfect pouch to keep it in, and I know that's where it is. So that stays right here on this. Let's just get these straps pinned back because it's gonna tick me off if I don't. Then the side, it has side pouches on the waist belt. These two right here. And in this, I will keep, what do I have in this one? This I will keep, I actually learned this from Troy Pelletier, our taxidermist. He's done a lot of pack outs with us. He's helped us a lot on a lot of hunts. And it's just from old cameras, trail cameras that have died. It's just the straps, the tree straps. And this helps for extra straps to use to hold stuff on. So especially when it comes to carrying the head and that cape out at once, it's just always great to have extra straps just to help strap everything in. And camera straps are great. I didn't have to pay for them extra because the camera died, and I just kept the strap. You know, it's just easy stuff. What's in the other pouch here? And then again, like I said, these packs come with extra buckles and stuff, and this is just one of those extra buckles that came with this to help extend the regular straps to get around a bigger quarter or whatnot. So I'll put this down. All right. So I keep a dry bag, and I use orange just so I can't lose it. Sometimes at night, if you have a black bag, you might easily mistakenly not see it and forget about it. So I run orange, so it's hopefully a little bit easier to find in the midst of the chaos trying to leave. And I use a dry bag just so it keeps everything waterproof. This dry bag comes with its own like carry strap and stuff like that. Never use it, but I just keep it in there just in case, you never know. So this is where I keep my game bags. And I always keep a Ziploc in here for the extra game bags that don't get used. You can just put those game bags back in this Ziploc because these game bags don't reseal. And I use the Coolabuck game bags. And I get the antimicrobial ones. It's just personal preference, I guess you could say. It's just what I use. So these are the Elk Moose quarter bags. So it comes with 4 extra large game bags in this, and I keep them right in the vacuum sealed bag because it's just easy. It doesn't take up much space, and it keeps them bacteria free from when I get it. And I always buy my own game bags. It just did because you guys are going to buy your own game bags. And then, so that only holds 4 quarters, but you're going to have more than 4 quarters. You're going to have your 4 quarters, 1 meat bag at the minimum. You should probably divide that up into 2 because, like I said, it can be 80, 90 pounds of Jello. And then we always do like a tenderloin, backstrap, and heart bag, basically like your premium cuts. So 4 quarter bags, and then I always have like just a little deer bag, which is like, the deer quarter bags. They're just smaller bags. So I'll keep that in there as well. So you can have your 4 quarters in the bigger bags, and then use these smaller whitetail deer style bags for your meat bag and tenderloin bag, backstrap, all that type of stuff. So it's just, I've learned it just makes things easier. So, and that's what the gallon Ziploc is for when this smaller bag is opened. If there's extra, throw them in this and seal that bag right back up. So then we'll get into, I keep my knives in this dry bag as well. And like I said before, I am an outdoor edge guy. I am not a Havalon guy, and I'll explain that in a second. Yeah, so I use Outdoor Edge. This, I think my wife got this one for me. No, I got this. So this is what they call the Zipper, I believe. That's the name. At least that's what I call it. Yep, Zip Pro. You don't always have to use it, but I used it on my bull last year, on my September bull, and my client was pretty impressed with it. It's just, you make that little slit in the back of the head, right in the back of the neck, and it just, boop, you can zip it right down the back. It's got a little blunt end on it, and then it's like a curved blade, and it's super sharp. It worked great for getting that initial cut going down the back. We cut it from the back of the neck, back of the head, back of the skull, all the way right down to the tail. So it worked great. You can use a regular knife too if you want, which is what most people do, but I don't know how I got this. I don't know. I guess one of those kinds of nights on Amazon late night. I got it. Anyways. Yeah, and then just this little bone saw. I don't think I've ever used it, but I have it just in case. And I'll go into a second why I don't use the bone saw. Yeah, so Outdoor Edge. Again, orange. I keep everything orange just so I can see it in case we put it down. You don't want to kneel on it. You don't want to forget it. And again, this is the 3.5-inch Razor Light, the Outdoor Edge 3.5 Razor Light. That's perfect. Cut up a bunch of deer, a bunch of moose with it. Cut up my bear with it. And I always use the original case, the Outdoor Edge original case that comes with it. The little pocket buckle case. And I keep spare blades in here. I think I have 10 spare blades in here, and this usually gets me through one whole moose season. So September bull, October bull, and cow season, and then even into deer season for the 1 or 2 deer I'll shoot a year. It'll get me into that. So yeah, Outdoor Edge, and I'll explain to you why I use Outdoor Edge. Some people are going to argue with me, oh, I like Havalon. Good for you. If that's what works, that's what works. I use the Outdoor Edge because I've never broken a blade, and it's just a little bit bigger. The Outdoor Edge is super dainty. Not the Outdoor Edge, the Havalon is super dainty to me. I love the Outdoor Edge because I got big hands, fits my hand. It's just a little bit bigger of a knife. I get better cuts with it than the Havalon. The Havalon always break blades. They always pop out. You get it caught up in a little bit of tissue, pop the blade right off. And then you got a loose blade. Sometimes it'll get left in the meat. You're trying to dig around for it, find it in the meat. Blades break. I've broken a bunch of blades with the other guys' Havalons that I've used, but they are sharper. I do think the Havalon blades are sharper, so you use less blades if you don't break them. Uncut one up. But some guys, they have zero issues with them. Maybe it's just the way I'm using them. I mean, sometimes I'm a bull in a china shop, so maybe I'm too rough with them. I don't know. But a lot of people complain about getting the blades out of these Outdoor Edges, especially when you're cutting them up and it gets all gummed up with tissue in that slot where the blade goes into. So I said earlier, that's why I keep my Leatherman, my Gerber on me, is because when I do go to change out the blade, I just hold the button and pry it out with the Leatherman. I never touch the blade with my finger, just because you can slip, you can do anything. Never touch the blade with my finger. I just boop, pop it out with the Leatherman, grab the new blade. Sometimes if there's a little bit of tissue that is built up in that track, you can just take the knife blade or whatever on your Leatherman and just scrape out that track. Scrape out the track, get that tissue out of there. Then you can just use the pliers with a new blade, pop it into the outdoor edge knife. You're good to go. Sometimes if it doesn't click, you want to hear that click when you put the blade in. If it doesn't click, find a tree or a stump and just poke your knife into it and just keep pushing pressure on it until it clicks. Yeah, I don't know why people are against them because of that issue. You're just not trying hard enough to get around the issue, I guess. But I will argue to the day I die that outdoor edge is what I'm going to use forever. Yep, so that's why I do keep another knife sharpener in here. Again, maybe this all came in a kit. I don't remember. Anyways, a little knife sharpener, outdoor edge knife sharpener, in case some of the other guys need it. Because sometimes, especially even the clients like to cut sometimes, and they want to use like their grandfather's knife or something that was passed down from an old buck knife. So I just keep knife sharpeners on me to keep their blade sharp. What else do we got? Oh, and obviously with disposable blade knives, you have disposable blades. Some guys like to use water bottles. They'll take the old blade, put it in a water bottle. Water bottles these days are super thin, and you've got to get that bottle out of the wood somehow. And so, jiggling around in a pack, jiggling around in your back pocket, the blade could pop through the really thin plastic on the water bottle. So I don't want to run the risk of that. And so I don't remember what this, I think a little first aid kit came in this. It's just a little plastic container. I don't think it's waterproof or anything, but it's just a little plastic red container, and this I just keep it in my go bag, my pack out go bag, and I'll just pop it open, put the old blades in it, and it's super thick plastic. Blade's never going to break through it. It's red, so you can see it on the ground. Yeah, I just like it more than the water bottle. Yeah, so that's what I keep in that. And this is, like I said, this stays on my main pack out bag, my Alps Commander Elite. Now we'll dive into my other pack out bag. My other pack out bag is the Alps Extreme. I don't know if it's a different version. I just know because it says Extreme on the front of it. It might be smaller. I don't know. But I run the Alps Extreme. I use this one for meat bags. That premium cut bag. Just because it wraps around stuff. This is where I also will carry limbers, and this will go into why I don't use the little bone saw, because the limbers, if the client wants the heart or you want to get the heart out, if the heart's not destroyed, just limb the ribs off. Boop, boop, boop. If they want to take the whole rib cage out to bring all the ribs back, just snip the rib. It snips it like you do a regular limb on a tree. It's just so easy. So keep those on there, and then if you have some bigger stuff in the way of trying to take your trophy picks and stuff like that, that the little snips that I had can't get, you can use the limbers just to clear that little bit of area that you're at. And I also keep a machete on me in this pack out bag. Probably not needed. I think I've only used it once. I'm trying to hack a way out of like just this overgrown alder mess, and your bag's getting caught on everything. The rack's getting caught on everything, and it's just, yeah. So I've used this before, the little machete, just to hack your way out. I think I originally got it because, actually I think it was a Christmas gift, but anyways, so it's just a Gerber machete. It's got the saw on the back of it. So I have used this to cut the hocks off on the quarters of the moose, just to make it a little bit lighter, because those hocks do weigh, probably another 5 pounds or so. So I've used that to cut the lower portion of the legs off. Now I have learned how to do it without actually sawing anything, just kind of cut the tissue away and stuff like that, and then pop the joint. So that's why I originally had that. I just keep it in there just in case I do need to hack my way out of somewhere. So extra bungees on this pack, you can see, if you're watching. If you're not watching, I keep extra bungees wrapped around on this pack. It'll help just attach other stuff to the pack. You can use the bungees on the other pack that I have to basically just keep it really tight around the head and the hide. Just extra stuff to have. You never know if you're going to need it. And then, oh, nothing in that pouch. That might be where I'm going to put, yeah, I don't know. There's just nothing in that side pouch on the hip. This hip pouch, even more bungees. Bungees are great. You can never have enough bungees, especially if you're lending bungees to people on their pack out, you're probably never going to get them back. So always have extra bungees. Let me see if I can show you, if you're watching, how this pack kind of wraps around. See, it's got the wrap right there. Comes in great for the meat bags, just so it just doesn't spill out the side. All that mumbo jumbo. Yeah, so that's the Alps Extreme. I know there's other companies now that are doing like this kind of style pack out bags and stuff like that. I like Alps. It's as a guide, you get a great discount with Alps, and it's just zero issues with them. So I'm gonna keep walking them. Oh, and then this. These, I think you've heard in podcasts with us before, talking about Rob Mayo last year. We were doing his October Bull. It was Saturday night, last 5 minutes of legal light, and his clients, got a bull. And so it's immediately dark, can't see. And he's like, "Oh, go get the lights out of my truck." And I was like, "Okay." I thought he was talking about like headlamp, flashlight, whatever. No, straight up spotlights, work lights, LED battery work lights. And man, it lit up the world like the 4th of July. Like he just hung them. He hung them up from like the tips of spruce trees, the branches, whatever, and it made it almost like daylight and cutting up the bull at night. It made life so easy. So I immediately, when I got home from that hunt, immediately went on Amazon, and I think these are like Hyperlight brand LED work lights. They got like a little hanger on the back of them, battery powered. You can charge them. I think it charges with regular USB and a USB-C cord. And they last for a while. These are still good to go, and I haven't touched them since last year. So this is going to become a staple in my orange dry bag that stays in my pack out bag. So I just haven't put them in there yet because I just pulled them out from the basement. So this is, if you it'd probably even help you if you weren't packing your moose out, whether you're dragging it out, towing it out, just gutting it, or you're gutting it. Work great, 4 of them, because you got 4 corners all around you. You should be able to have light all around you. That's why I got 4 of them. LED work lights. Just go to Amazon, type in LED work lights, battery work lights, and they should pop up. These are Hype lights. Game changer. I'm very glad Rob Mayo showed us that. It made so much sense once he did. So yeah, I think that's all. Yeah, guys. I'm glad we got to do this. Maybe I'll try to get some of the other guys to go over what they use and stuff like that. But now that I made a mess out of the organized chaos that I had going on here to pack, I'm going to let you guys get to doing what you're doing. So again, thank you. Looking forward to a great season, and I wish you all good luck. For those of you that have tags, going on family hunts, stuff like that. I'm going to try to do a truck one here when I pack my truck in a couple days. What stays in the truck, what goes in the truck, stuff like that. So, all right, guys, take care and God bless.